Once upon a time, in a peaceful little pond nestled in the middle of a lush forest, lived 5 frogs. They were not ordinary frogs. They were known for their playful and curious nature. Let me tell you about 5 of their most hilarious adventures. 1. The great jumping contest one sunny afternoon. The frogs decided to have a jumping contest. The goal was simple. Whoever could jump the farthest would win a shiny rock from the bottom of the pond. All the frogs lined up, took a deep breath, and leaped into the air. But as they were mid-flight, a strong breeze blew through the trees and sent them all tumbling in different directions. One frog landed on a mushroom, another on a lily pad, and the third in a bird's nest. The frogs laughed so hard that they forgot who had even won. They all agreed it didn't matter because, at the end of the day, the real prize was the fun they had. 2. The frog and the fly chase one morning. Fred the frog woke up with a great idea. He had seen a fly buzzing around the pond, and he thought, why not catch it for breakfast? Fred jumped into action, hopping wildly after the fly. The other frogs, curious, decided to join the chase. It turned into a wild, frog-filled pursuit around the pond. One frog jumped on a log, another splashed into the water, and one even got stuck in the mud. In the end, Fred got so tangled up in a reed that he didn't even realize the fly had flown away. The frogs all collapsed in laughter, realizing the fly had won this time. 3. The frog detective one day. The frogs noticed that something strange was happening at the pond. Their favorite lily pad was missing. They couldn't believe their eyes. Who could have taken it? Wondered Lily, the cleverest frog of them all. She put on her detective hat and began questioning the other frogs. Did you see anything suspicious? She asked. After much investigation, they discovered that the lily pad hadn't gone anywhere. It had simply floated to a different part of the pond. They all laughed at Lily's detective skills, and from then on, she was known as Detective Lily, though she was always careful not to lose any more lily pads. For the music band of frogs had always loved to sing, but one day they decided to form a band. Fred was the drummer, Lily was the singer, and the others played various instruments like reeds and water droplets. They held concerts every evening by the pond. But one night, when they began to perform, a curious raccoon appeared on the scene. The raccoon was so impressed by their music that he tried to join in. He grabbed a branch and started strumming it like a guitar. The frogs were so surprised that they couldn't stop laughing, and from that day on, the raccoon became their honorary band member. 5. The bubble trouble one afternoon. The frogs decided to play a game of who could make the biggest bubble. They all jumped into the water, puffing their cheeks out to create bubbles. But there was one little problem. Fred, the most competitive frog, made a bubble so big that it floated away with him inside it. He bobbed up and down, floating across the pond like a balloon. The frogs watched in amazement as Fred drifted away, still holding onto the bubble. Finally, the bubble popped, and Fred splashed into the water, soaking wet but laughing so hard he almost forgot what happened. The frogs agreed that they would stick to smaller bubbles from now on, and so the 5 frogs continued to have many more funny adventures. They laughed, played, and had the time of their lives in their little pond, making memories that would last forever. After all, it wasn't about winning or losing. It was about the joy they shared together.